The region is officially part of Azerbaijan, but it's run by ethnic Armenians. It's the latest effort to end the worst flare-up in violence between the nations in more than a quarter of a century. Armenia's leader says he is ready to resume peace talks, but the Azeri president appears to be backing a military solution to the conflict for now. Alexandra Stoyanovich-Godfroyd is following Russia's mediation efforts in Moscow, and all the expectations for peace are not high, are they?
No, not really. And the goal that is set in the announcement of these talks was set quite low, and that is to agree on a ceasefire, on a sort of a truce, but a humanitarian kind of, so that the prisoners could be exchanged and the bodies of deceased soldiers could be collected for burials. For more than that, they could not agree, at least not in the announcements. These talks are now entering their 6th hour. These are the first direct talks between any officials of Armenia and Azerbaijan since the conflict started, and actually for many years, since these two countries have no diplomatic relations whatsoever. Moscow here is a mediator. These talks have been happening on the invitation of Russian President Vladimir Putin, whose invitation is very hard to refuse for these two countries with which Russia has really good relations. And these talks are part of also international efforts of the Minsk OSCE group, which consists of France, US and Russia, of course. And they might be a small step, but they are the first step in possibly reaching negotiation, reaching maybe longer-lasting ceasefire. The problem is that both sides, Armenia and Azerbaijan, are on opposite ends, and they're putting conditions which are unacceptable for the other.
All right. For now, thanks very much, Alexandra Stoyanovich-Godfroyd. We might catch up with you a bit later, but thanks. But of course, as those talks are taking place, there is also heavy fighting continuing in the disputed region itself. Azerbaijan's defense ministry reported fierce clashes along the line of contact that divides the two sides. Shells fell on Stepanakert, the city Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh consider the capital of an independent state. Armenia denied its forces had attacked locations deeper in Azerbaijan. The president of Azerbaijan says he is giving Armenia one last chance to withdraw its troops and get back to negotiations.
Karabakh is Azerbaijan. Everyone should know this, including those in charge of Armenia today. I tell them again that if they commit fraud after the Moscow talks, they will regret it. We will take back our lands, peacefully or through war. Unequivocally, we want to organise it peacefully. We give Armenia one last chance.
Well, Sinem Kasioglu is in the Azeri city of Mingachevir and says the comments by Azerbaijan's president suggest that talks to end the conflict could still be derailed.
Apparently, Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev wanted to show that he has a strong hand in this conflict that erupted in September 27. After 30 years in this conflict and being the weak side 30 years ago, now Azerbaijan has a proper military army. They have the more sophisticated weaponry compared to Armenian military, and they have the international support as the UN resolutions and other international organizations are on Azerbaijan's side, saying that Armenian forces are occupiers in Nagorno-Karabakh, adjacent 7 regions. Basically, Azerbaijan president said that they don't want blood, they don't want war, but the process showed that only military solution can solve this problem. He made a call to Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, saying that a couple of days ago Nagorno-Karabakh is Armenian land, and now are you going to say this thing in Moscow? Because if you say this, if you claim Nagorno-Karabakh as an Armenian soil, then we will not come around the table and we will not negotiate. Basically, Azerbaijan's precondition is also based on the international resolutions, international organizations, Armenian forces withdrawing from Nagorno-Karabakh and adjacent 7 rayons, as they call regions, that have been occupied by Armenian forces.